working. This is the second time I'm going through this process. About to see in a matter of seconds. All right. I believe that it is working. It's actually going faster as well, which is good. But long story short, if you're a weekly viewer of the Ring of Honor TV reviews, thank you. We're here for another Ring of Honor TV review. Long story short, my filming setup is going under a bit of maintenance and change that when the hell it'll be done, I do not know. But y'all are not here to hear me blab about it. You're here for a Ring of Honor TV review, which this is a great episode for you to do that. Because it is a special edition of Ring of Honor on Honor Club, as the whole show and the matches filmed took place on the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, a.k.a. the Chris Jericho Cruise. If I have to refer to it again, I'll be using the latter name because it is shorter and simpler. So we got a special edition of ROH. We got a special edition of the ROH TV review. That's the simplest way that I could put it. So let's get on with it. The first thing to talk about, though, are announcement. I already botched. Long story short, I don't know when, if and when, I know it's being filmed, but I don't know when it will be uploaded and talked about and if it's going to be an event on its own. But this weekend, AEW has Grand Slam Australia, and they have announced several matches that are Ring of Honor related and have them under the label of AEW ROH Global War. So I don't know if this will be a future episode of ROH TV, it'd be a future ROH special, but we do have some Ring of Honor matches to take place this weekend in Australia under the name Global Wars, which ROH in the past have had several Global Wars events. So those matches include Athena defending the Women's Championship against Alex Windsor, Leo Moriarty defending the Pure Championship against Robbie Eagles. The tag team titles will be on the line as two people that you see on the screen. Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes will be defending against the MXM Collection. And another person that you see on the screen, Chris Jericho, Brian Keith, and Big Bill, collectively known as the Learning Tree, will be taking on Bandito and the Outrunners. So I like that we're getting more interest and special things happening for ROH because it makes it more fun to talk about on here, and it's getting more attention, which is good to see. Granted, some things could be better, but that's a nitpick for another. I'm not going to complain that much for this week's review. I'll go ahead and say that now. If I do, I apologize in advance, but I like that they did something to make it special, and this Global Wars event, when it takes place, will be something interesting, special. So that is something down the line. Let's get on to this 103rd episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club. It is kicked off by the host of the ship, the man that everything revolves around in Ring of Honor right now, Chris Jericho. That is a bit of sarcasm. But he does welcome us to this episode, saying that this episode was filmed in the Dominican Republic as a part of the Jericho Cruise. Now, our opening contest this week was Mason Madden versus Jay Lethal. The MXM Collection still have the tag team title that they stole last week, which, if you watched last week's review, I was a bit confused because they posed with the title, but we didn't see them walk away with the title, but they still have the title, and it was vandalized. Or not really vandalized. Technically it was vandalized, but it was customized to MXM's liking. And the other guy, Jay Lethal, Ring of Honor legend, former tag team champion, former world champion, former television champion, is not here. Instead, it was Black Machismo. So we have Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, versus Mason Madden. The code of honor / the tip touching does not take place between the two. Machismo delivers a series of elbows early. Madden delivers a big choke slam that gets a 2 count. We get a series of boo-yay punches with Madden hulking up from it, but he misses on the leg drop. Lethal is not able to hit his elbow drop attempt on the first attempt. He would need to hit a lethal injection and then hit the Hail to the King elbow drop off of the top rope to win the matchup. So I kind of hope we see more of Jay Lethal in Ring of Honor in the future. It was funny that like Final Battle, he competed in the build to Final Battle. He was like, I want to be a champion in Ring of Honor again, and then this was his first match back a whole month plus later. So we'll see more Jay Lethal, and like I said, we already know what is up next or in the future for the MXM collection. So our next matchup is Billie Starkz versus Harley Cameron. Before the match, we see Athena talking to Billie last week and making her sit down and asking her what did she learn from her teaching lesson, aka Athena's match that happened that week. And Billie was barely able to say anything without Athena yelling at her, and she was not happy in that she has not learned anything after all this time in tutelage that she has been under. But our matchup is Billie Starkz versus Harley Cameron. All this gives Billie an aggressive side to start the matchup off. It is a back-and-forth match. Harley hits a pump handle suplex for a close 2 count. Starkz hits a twisting neckbreaker for a close 2 count. And then Starkz misses on a swan dive, and Cameron gets the roll-up and the win. And she has a matchup this week at Grand Slam, one of the bigger hyped matchups against Mercedes Moné. As I thought I could go to the menu. Oh, this is going to be such a... All right, I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can. I'll also say the more that I potentially... We're going to have an interesting match if y'all been keeping up with the dirt sheets this week. If I do more matches, if I do more reviews like this, I do have a Ring of Honor arena, but for the sake of this week, we're going to use the special beach arena. And I know that neither of these men have ever competed in Ring of Honor before, but it's just a wink and you know type of match. Now, the one thing that I do like about this matchup or this show is that we saw a lot of people that we typically wouldn't see competing in ROH. We have a Ring of Honor debut a little bit later. We have a Ring of Honor return of someone that I've wanted to see back in ROH for a long, long time. It has been about 2 years because he was on the early Honor Club ROH episodes. But our next matchup is a International Title Eliminator match between Konosuke Takeshita versus the Dynamite Kid, Tom Bellington. This is a rematch of a match that took place on Collision last year. We get a fast-paced start by Bellington, which is slowed down once Takeshita runs into the ropes while he is on the top turnbuckle. At one point, Takeshita has a plastic spoon and tries using it, and then he ends up doing it, spiking it, and then throwing it into the crowd before the referee could take it away. I don't really know how much damage it did because, again, it was a plastic spoon. Bellington retaliates back with clotheslines, suplexes, and a top rope dropkick. The two try to tombstone one another, with Bellington being able to deliver, but misses on his top rope headbutt, and Takeshita hits a running knee and blue thunderbomb to pick up the victory. And again, I obviously both men back in Ring of Honor, but Takeshita more so. And I've been on the record as saying that Takeshita is one of the favorites for Wrestler of the Year this year because he's a double champion competing all around the world, and I think this is the last time I'll have to say it. He is competing this weekend at Grand Slam Australia in a tag match with Kyle Fletcher versus Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Speaking of tag team wrestling, we have a tag team matchup taking place next between the Outrunners and the Grizzled Young Veterans. This stems from last week's 4-team tag match where the Grizzled Young Vets thought they had a chance of winning, but the Outrunners ended up getting the victory. Magnum and Drake start the match off. The Outrunners do a double airplane spin at one point, while a sneak tag is made by the Grizzled Young Vets. A double drop kick is hit by them afterwards. Magnum gets stuck in his opponent's side of the ring until he's able to bounce off of Gibson and tag Floyd in. The Outrunners hit a double elbow drop, but Gibson avoids total recall. Floyd gets attacked by Drake and his scarf while the referee's back is turned. A Doomsday device is avoided and reversed into a total recall and a win by the Outrunners. And again, there'll be... I lied to y'all because I said I wouldn't have to mention Australia again. But they'll be a part of the Global Wars Australia card, teaming with Bandito against the Learning Tree. I'm intrigued to see if the Outrunners get a ROH and or AEW tag team title shot, I think they would be more so fit for an ROH tag title shot because most of the wins have been on ROH. But I'm more so intrigued by when the hell Bandito's going to get a ROH World title match. I'd love to see him be Ring of Honor World Champion again. Anybody other than Chris. I can't even say that. I can't even say that was a straight fest. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Bandito Ring of Honor World title run again. Now, we are backstage, and Queen Aminata is being interviewed, but she does not even get a chance to get a word out of her mouth because she is interrupted by Serena Deeb, who is just disgusted by the amount of women in the company that is just fascinated with, and I quote, shaking their ass, and she thinks that Aminata is one of them, but notes that Aminata does have skill and tries to give advice to Aminata, but essentially she suggests that they compete in a pure rules match in Ring of Honor, which Aminata says accepts. I'm going to say she does accept, so there's that. Now, we have the Ring of Honor debut of Ricochet as he goes against Sir Pentico. Sir Pentico has an early advantage until Ricochet puts the referee in his way. Ricochet spends most of this match taunting, including a People's Moonsault. Later, a big clothesline and standing shooting star gets a 2 count. Sir Pentico's Canadian Destroyer gets a 2 count, but Ricochet gets his knees up off of Sir Pentico's frog splash attempt. Ricochet finishes the match off with a Vertigo and the Spirit Gun clothesline as we now go to our main event matchup for the television championship, Komander versus Nick Wayne. There's no code of honor. We get a fast-paced start by both men going for a drop kick, and then they both went for a drop kick at the same time. Komander tries to do a dive to the outside, but Wayne reverses it into a DDT. Once back in the ring, Wayne tries to keep Komander grounded. Komander hits a springboard arm drag and a springboard moonsault onto the outside. Wayne's super kick and fisherman suplex gets a 2 count. Komander reverses the Wayne's World attempt into a Canadian Destroyer and then hits a rope walk shooting star press while wearing a captain's hat to pick up the victory and end this special edition of Ring of Honor Wrestling. As Ricky had a fucking kick out at 2.99. Regardless, like I said, I enjoyed this episode of Ring of Honor so much just again because it had a special feeling. I like the aspect of them being on the cruise ship, and you know, it gave a different. And anytime that we see a different environment and area, I'm always for it. And so this is, I can't even really say it's one of those occasions because they have done in the past ROH. They competed on the Jericho's cruise before, but it's been quite a while since that has happened. And perfect timing as this match finished, and now the review is finished. So I don't know when the AEW/ROH Global Wars Australia is airing, but I'll more than likely cover the ROH portion on here. So I don't think there's anything else I need to discuss. Hopefully my setup is fixed. That is I got a achievement on here. I'll just tell y'all this now. You know, this is side tangent. I love this game. I love AEW Fight Forever. I know a lot of people were very negative on the game, but I love this game. And I love Stadium Stampede. At one point that weekend when this shit launched, I was top 3 on Xbox in Stadium Stampede wins. And then I went to sleep and went to top 5. Now I can't look at it because nobody else plays the game. How about y'all start playing the game again? Okay, again, going on another tangent that y'all don't care about. But I do appreciate y'all for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one because I'm out for now. Goodbye. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. All that other stuff. I'm just trying to stall